Welcome to this video about Lombok and the Gili Islands in Indonesia. So, in this video, I want to tell you about a trip that I did that I absolutely loved. And I hope it will inspire you to make your own trip to the Lombok and to the Gili Islands because they are just so spectacular. These are insanely awesome islands. Many people might know about Bali. These are the islands that are pretty close to Bali. You can visit them from Bali if you visit Bali, but you can do them as a totally on its own trip. You can fly into Lombok and then take boats out to the Gili Islands. This is a special trip, or was a special trip to me, because this is the first trip that my now husband and I um, took together. And it was probably a test of our relationship, a very first test. And if we could survive this trip, we could make it. And yeah, I guess so far we have. It was a test to see whether we could actually live to, be together and make travel decisions because it's quite stressful traveling together. He did travel into Bali. He didn't enjoy it as much. It was just very congested and everything. People told me go to Lombok, and he agrees, and go to the Gillies. You can get the same experience, just a very, very enjoyable, quiet, much quieter experience that's actually relaxing. So yeah, welcome to my little bit of a travel trip down memory lane in terms of Lombok. So yeah, the first place we went to is Lombok Island, and then we went to Gili and Trawangan. The picture of Gili really summarizes Gili in that it's known for its just the beautiful coral out there, colorful coral, lots of sea life as well. It's just gorgeous, but amazingly beautiful coral that you can just basically walk off the sea, like the sand, basically, the beach, and into the water and put your goggles on and go down, and you can see clownfish. You can see intensely, amazingly bright, vivid coral. That is what I remember from Gili Meno, and I stayed on that island and loved it. Gili Trawangan, I visited on a day trip, and you can see there's like more like a village with like pottery and cultural side to the village, but there's also spectacular nature on that particular island as well. So I'm going to first tell you about Lombok. Okay, in Lombok we stayed at this place, Bunga Malik Bungalow, and it's in Tetabatu village. Okay, this is a village up in the mountains. We were visiting in October. This was rainy season. It's, I guess, not like it's an off-peak season that we were going in, but I'd say it's still worth it. It's really beautiful at this time of year, much quieter. Okay, this is a picture of our room. You can see that bed over there. There's a bathroom out that way, and in the bathroom it kind of looks like this, a big open space, and then this toilet, shower in the one corner. You can see it over there. You can see the shower head, so it's kind of like open plan. And then over in the front here, you can kind of see all of the screen. And this is the bottom left. You can see chairs and a table basically looking out over a jungle, what looks like a jungle. And this is the bar area. This is where you eat breakfast. So yeah, spectacular view for breakfast, right? You can eat dinner here. It's much darker, so you don't see the view as much. And so these are near to your bungalows. You just walk on like paved pathways to get to this area, to this bar area. You can get coconuts here. You can get drinks here. And yeah, it's attached. There's a kitchen attached. You can order things at this bar. The beginning of the day, and for the next day as well. Like they write it down the night before. They'll write down what are the activities that are taking place the next day, and you can tell them if you would like to join. So some of the activities you can take part in include um, basically going on a hike through the villages, and then a different day you could do crafts, and you can go to the craft villages. And I'll tell you more about that. We didn't have that much time. We did 2 nights here. We arrived later on the first day, and then we did like a whole full second day. But we should have maybe done 3. I didn't think that in villages we'd have to spend that much time, but actually, there's enough to do. So sorry for the scariness over there. So this first video that I'm going to show, I think maybe 2 just happened. This first video is a what? It is. So this is the first thing. And yeah, so that's how the first kind of stuff was and stuff is working, which is really awesome. Usually you can go zoning in it, but this day is particularly the second video I want to show you over here is, and they're in the tree there. You can see like 2 doors there. It's such a fun to see the thing. You can see the lady not lady. The area. Like that. You can see some monkeys along the way. So that's hello. Okay, so I'm going to tell you more about this.
Yeah, toy.
Hello.
Woo! Natural cool. Toy. Currently. It's not heated.
Okay, it just doesn't say video, it's not heated. This is a like natural spring water pool, and someone has like this land, I guess, and they like let tourists come. So this is another stop along the way. Stop at this spring where you can swim in, basically.
Natural pool.
In all of this natural spring water. And you can see the fish here.
Yeah,
a lot of boy. Hello. And they're kind of under a bridge there. But yeah, they swim all the way through all of these little boats. They were kind of interviewed. And it's like there's a coffee shop over there. You can get some drinks. So it's kind of like a refresher station. I guess it's called trekking through the mountains.
Yeah.
And then this is the rice paddies, which is Katu village that we're staying in, but the rice villages all around. Just an overview. It's very, very scenic, very green, very beautiful. Because you're in Tete Batu, you can see like these are the homes that are made over there. And I think this is pretty similar in many parts of Southeast Asia because I was living in Myanmar. I'd seen this in Thailand as well, in the countryside. So these homes can be made on stilts because it is very wet over there. So the homes are built on stilts, and then they kind of weave these walls of their home. And you can see kind of these pots that are submerged for rice picking. We visited a village like this where we could rest. It was another rest stop. And so there's like trekking, but there's a lot of resting. So I think you hardly feel it. And we got to purchase items. They gave us some tea, and then they presented like vanilla pods, basically coffee if you were interested, dried fruits. It was basically things from the local areas, like that farmers in the area around had produced, and I found that really, really nice. um, I just enjoyed it, like dried coconut. They had like a variety, and it was hard to choose and not take a bit of everything. And then we also got to see the rice. You can see the rice paddies, they floated over there. And then we got to have a look at that, and they just explained to us like how it's picked. And then we got to, in the third picture over there, we got to see how they thrash the rice or harvest, I guess. I don't know. And they explained like and gave basically we were able to help out. It's tiring work. And then you can see all of the rice on the ground there as they're drying out rice. And we walked by. And so on the first day we arrived later in the evening. And so our host, the place we were staying, said, "This is a fighting contest. When you arrive at it, you can rent one motorbike." So we rented a motorbike from them, and you can go on your way. They sometimes play the games, so I don't know how. We did stop and ask people. But yeah, we got to this fighting event. And yeah, it was a lot of fun because it was something we really didn't expect. And we got like front row seats, fun. I mean, it can be a little embarrassing, but it's really, really cool to get the front row seat, to meet the local people. Not everyone can understand English, but at least like it was wow, it was a heartwarming experience. And a heartwarming introduction. The next day, we spent a little bit of time going to the villages. We didn't have a lot of time because we needed to leave early, so we were not able to do breakfast. And so that's why I say we should maybe spend 3 days there, because you were able to go to the pottery village, and you were able to actually like make something. You can buy clay pots as well. You can buy bamboo baskets and so many things. And then you can also see the demonstrations on and you can also try out weaving, the traditional dresses, the traditional garment. And then you can try it on. They let us try it on, and wow, we still have a picture, and we haven't been at home of basically a picture of both of us in traditional dress, an Indonesian dress, and we didn't buy anything from them. I did buy them, which I loved, and yeah, but I did not buy anything. So one of the things that our host also offered us was a cooking class, Indonesian food cooking class. And yeah, we got to make mie goreng and tofu and I think some chicken item. I can't remember. But yeah, you can see some of the foods that we got to make. It was really, really good. And they always like put everything on like a green leaf, and it's just so tropical. This is an amazing experience.
Ears like pixie ears.
And that's just monkeys. Have a look at the monkeys. Okay.
Ears like pixie ears.
So this is a new place. So we left Teta Batu village and we went to Sempiak Villas. And so this is going to the beach area. I think maybe it was like, I can't remember how much time it took us to drive there. I think it wasn't that far because I don't think the island's that big as far as I recall. So we wanted to stay at a resort. We're not usually resort people, but this one basically is at the surfing hotspot. And it's called Sempiak Villas, and it's at one of the main surfing beaches where you can learn to surf. and that was important. Like, we aren't
Pixie ears.
surfers ourselves. My husband wanted to learn to surf, and I had surfed before,
Pixie ears.
but on this particular occasion, I did not surf. You can see some of the spectacular views from the pool there. And this one from a different pool of just like the mountains and the beach. That out there is actually the ocean. And yeah, and then you can see just this, like, these little monkeys that kind of came up to the room. And we had to keep the doors and the windows closed. But there was really good air conditioning in there. I didn't take a video of the actual like room, but it was spectacular, and the price was really, really affordable, like $90 per day. And we found that affordable because for similar accommodations, like a similar resort in the United States or in Mexico, you'd be paying at least, like, we felt like maybe like $500 per night, because yeah, in Mexico, in Cancun, you can pay those prices. So yeah, this was a lot that you could do there. You could do yoga. We got beautiful breakfast out with amazing scenery, which I'll probably have another picture of like this. I have another picture of the views from where we ate breakfast. You can kind of see a picture of me there with those views. Whoops, sorry, I'm just gonna show you this. So yeah, you can see what the layout is. Basically, you're sitting on the beach when you're having breakfast or you're having dinner. So the restaurant is right on the beach. You're like, our villas were up top on the mountain. You kind of come down some stairs and then towards the beach. You can see the amazing picture of the, like, just like what the beach looks like. Like, there's actually a huge long beach, and I'll show you that, which you can see behind me over there. But part of it, as you walk along, there are more rocks, and you can climb the rocks. We climbed the rocks, and so basically we went on like a little bit of walk. You can see me here just looking out. There's after clambering over some rocks, which are in the distance. It's quite a bit of a walk. Like, it's a huge beach. There's a lot of surfers out there, and then you can carry on walking and walking, and then end up at rocks, and then you can actually end up at a very private beach, which is like where I'm standing. Okay, so before we carry on with this part, that was Sempiak Villas, and that was absolutely like worth going to. It was affordable, it was beautiful. Some of the things that we did there, like, I got a massage. My husband went surfing. We rented a motorbike. You can have a look there. We rent a motorbike when we go out. He's on the cars. And the monkey's just sitting there. You can basically explore when you rent a motorbike. You can also go paragliding like we did. Okay, so that was just like, I took that video after the person he was paragliding with, and then I took it after. And that was really, really cool. So we did a lot of activities. And then another day or another afternoon, we went to Kuta Mandalika, which is a beach, a different beach. We preferred the beach at Sempiak Villas. Really, really loved that beach. This beach is near the Mandalika International Circuit, where like motocross, MotoGP, motorbikes. It's a racetrack. The beach looks like that over there in the corner, as well as the picture over here. We did not like this beach as much, but there's a lot more restaurants and cafes in this area. So the next part is going to be heading to the islands. And so these are the pictures. This is a map of the Gili Islands, and you can see Gili Trawangan here, and then in the middle is Gili Meno, and then there's Gili Air. So basically, you can take a boat and go from Lombok to the Gili Islands. We went to Gili Meno. So we took a boat and we went out to Gili Meno because we were staying there. And yeah, it was like a 30-minute ride from Gili to Gili from Lombok. And we actually went straight from the airport. Took a, we got a taxi to the port. And then we waited and we got a boat. We got a private boat. You don't have to get a private boat. There is like a public boat and like a slow boat as well. But we got the private fast boat. It wasn't that expensive. I think it was like $24. Um, and so at first we were like, oh my God, because we heard the amount in Indonesian, the Indonesian currency. And then afterwards, when I converted, I was like, oh, it's not that bad. Because I mean, it's for two of us. Um, I thought we were being ripped off, but we were not. So we went to Gilimeno, and there's a lot to do in Gilimeno. There's the Nest underwater statues. There's a similar underwater statues kind of exhibit in, I think it was in Cancun. And so it's the same artist that created it, and this is actually on Gilimeno on this side over there, okay, of the island. On the same side of the island is where you take the boat to get to Trawangan. So you'll just see boats hanging around there, and you just take like a boat across in like 20 minutes, something. It says here 15 minutes, so it might be even less. There's also like a turtle sanctuary on this side, and I'll show you the turtle sanctuary because I've got some pictures. Um, Along this whole coastline between Gili Trawangan and Gili Meno, like you can go snorkeling here and walk along this whole long coastline, and it's absolutely wow. You walk into the ocean, you put your snorkel goggles on, and you just start kicking off, and then you're seeing like coral, like red, purples, yellow, all the colors. And then it just seemed so intense and beautiful. Um, Along to the northern part of this part of the island between Gili Trawangan, we saw turtles just swimming, like they just next to you whilst you're swimming in the coral. So it's yeah, we love this island, Gili and it's totally worth it. It's supposed to be the honeymooners island. Absolutely beautiful. Trawangan, I heard of it as the party island. I'm not sure if that's completely true, but I heard of it in that way. But my experience of it was a little bit different when I actually visited on a day trip. We didn't visit Gilier. Um, we went into going to the resort or to the yoga garden or Pink Coco Gilier, like that looked like an Instagram hotspot and just was nothing. But yeah, we did go to the shipwreck as well. I think we went to look at that too. Okay, so this is just the boat to go to Tonga. And you can see Tonga right from Gilimeno, so it's right there. It's not that far. So if you're planning a trip to to the Gili Islands from Lombok, this is Gilimeno. As I talked about the coral earlier, you can see the gorgeous views from the beach over there. You can relax. You can just like get drinks. There's a couple of bars along the beach and just sit out there. And you can see, if you look back at Lombok, you can see Rinjani. We could see Rinjani when we looked back at Lombok, and that's a volcano. And you can actually climb the volcano in the non-wet season. We were not there in the non-wet season. We were there in the rainy season. So unfortunately, we did not get to climb Rinjani, which we were a little bit disappointed about that. But then again, we didn't have that much time because apparently we had our schedule was packed. the more we were there, we had so much to do. So, as I said, the coral are absolutely intense. You can go diving, you can go snorkeling. You can see so much just snorkeling that we felt that it was insane that I didn't even bother going diving. But I guess I would have seen more sea life. But you can see just going off the beach, you can see clownfish, and you don't always get to see clownfish. You get to see clownfish in the prettiest, clearest, cleanest spots. And then here are the statues. You can kind of see them as just a little bit of a picture of the statues. You can snorkel, like snorkeling tours came, but if you're staying on Gili Manor, you can just basically walk off the side, off the beach, basically go into the water and go and find these statues. And then this is my other favorite part. This is the turtle sanctuary. And someone started the turtle sanctuary, and there's a whole bunch of baby turtles, and people clearly swimming to see it already. So I absolutely adored the baby turtles. And you could donate money, or you could buy things. So you could buy T-shirts. I bought a sarong, so that I could the money funds went towards the turtle sanctuary. And for some reason, they let you touch the baby turtles, and I was so happy. So yeah, next up you jump on a boat and you head to Gili. That's what we did. And there's a bit of the village part. And then we walked along, we were just exploring, and this is a restaurant we stopped at. And then you look across from that same restaurant, and this is the view. And then you walk into the water and you find a turtle just swimming there, just right there. So that was insane. It was unexpected that Chongwon could have the turtles also just right there. You're at the restaurant, you put your stuff down, you walk into the water, and you're like, what? The turtles right here. It's not just one, it's a few. And they're eating the grass there. And yeah, you could do Mount Rinjani. As I said, we didn't have time for that. I mean, well, it was rainy season, we couldn't do it. And yeah, that's the end. It's the wrap. And this is the spectacular view from St. Pierre Corners, the restaurant in St. Pierre Corners. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I know it's a long one, but I think there's so much one can learn when putting together an itinerary for such a trip. I hope it was valuable. If you are planning a trip, enjoy it. I myself love planning my own trips. I say do it. That is the most fun part to me, is finding these amazing places. Have a great, great trip.